Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and for the last 7 days, I've been driving the 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 6 Limited Long Range. Below me are two electric motors powering this all-electric vehicle. Now, I am super excited to be making this video because I've spent the last week driving the Ioniq 6. I've liked some parts of it, but also I've disliked some that I didn't think I would. Now, this is my second go around having an Ioniq 6 for a week. We also had a 2023 Ioniq 6 for a week in 2023. And so, while not much has changed, I feel like my opinion might have. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that all-electric drivetrain. Well, this is the dual-motor all-wheel drive system for the Ioniq 6, although you can find them in rear-wheel single-motor at the lower end. At a full charge, it says it'll do about 280 miles. However, the week that I had it, it's about 40-50 degrees here in March. I have not found that to be the case. I took it on a little hour-and-a-half drive, and although the actual drive was 89 miles, I used 143 miles of range to get there. So, almost double the amount of mileage I used to go that mileage. That has not been great. I will say charging has been pretty quick. From 15% to 80%, it charges up in like 25-ish minutes, which has been wonderful and very helpful. But I just can't help but feel that the range is somewhat lying when driving around. Now, this isn't new or special for the Ioniq 6. A lot of EVs do it, and it's actually why I praise the F-150 Lightning, because it gave a real-world estimate of mileage and didn't feel like a lie. A lot of EVs do this. So if you're looking to buy an EV, and if you don't have one already, I always tell people, look at the mileage that they give you and cut it in half and see if you can live comfortably with half of that mileage. So looking at this car, let's just say, can you do your daily driving with just 150 miles of range? If you can, then great, this car is going to be wonderful for you. But if you have a 100-mile commute either way, you're going to want to start to look at something else, because even though if it is 280 miles, if it's cold, if you use the AC, if you drive it a little bit more aggressive, you're going to start losing miles very fast. But the driving experience of the Ioniq 6 is great. It's quiet, it's smooth, it's quick when you want it to be quick in sport mode, and it's a really, really great driving experience. We'll talk about that more towards the end, but the overall experience minus the range has been fantastic. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a completely digital gauge cluster. I like the layout of this. It's pretty simple and easy to read. It's a little bit funky with its curved shapes and sort of tachometer and power gauge and things like that, but overall, it's good. On the steering wheel, on the left, we have our adaptive cruise control, as well as our page icons and our drive mode for Eco, Sport, and Normal, and that range test that we talked about earlier was done all in Eco and not Normal or Sport. Off to the right, we do have our mode, voice commands, volume, favorite, and phone options, as well as we get 4 lights in the center. This is the Morse code for H for Hyundai, but also these lights light up. So when you're backing up, they turn red. When you're charging, they actually pulsate green dependent on your charge. So very, very cool information there. Off to the left, we have a climate control vent, power parking brake, gauge dimmer switch, plug, trunk, and traction control off. And on the door, we have our 2 levels of memory seats and lets you get in and out. That's it. Moving into the center, we do have our infotainment display. It does have Apple CarPlay, however, it is wired. And I feel like up at this price point of $55,000, here in 2025, it should have wireless CarPlay. The Kia Rio has wireless CarPlay. So that's a little bit disheartening. Other than that, here's the camera system. It does have a 360 camera, which is very, very helpful. And of course, you can change the ambient lighting, which I am quite a big fan of. Down below, we have 2 climate control vents and the hazard switch and our climate control / radio button. So we do have a dedicated button for the camera system. I really like that. And we have a physical volume knob, and our climate controls stay in one place, unlike they do in new Kia products. Then we do get a wireless charger. charger, which I can't really use because I'm always plugged in for the radio anyway, USB-A, and cup holders. So we'll do a big friggin' bottle test here in the Ioniq 6, but like all of its other siblings and the Ioniq 6 in the past, it fails the big friggin' bottle test. Then we do have buttons in the center for our lock and unlock, power windows, and our auto holding brake. Interesting to find that all in the center stack. We do get an openable center console, and the seats. The seats are leather, heated, ventilated, power, and memory. I like all of that, and they've been comfortable even on my longer drives. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a backseat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 6 Limited Long Range, and the long range in the name might not be referring to the electric driving range, but it might be the range, the open Montana range that this back seat is. I feel like I'm in Dances with Wolves with Kevin Costner. Shout out. Tons and tons of space back here. Very long-winded way of saying tons of space. My knees are not even coming close to the seat in front of me. Head's not hitting the ceiling, which is a little bit of a shock because the front seats are kind of tall and my head comes close to hitting the ceiling up front. I'm 5'11", not the tallest guy in the world, but I am really close to the ceiling up there. I actually feel more comfortable in the back seat head-wise, head space-wise, than in the front driver's seat. That being said, I do get two USB-Cs back here. Interesting that there's USB-A up by the front cup holder, but USB-C back here. Power windows, I get my own climate vents, and of course we do have a center console with fold-down cup holders. So a very, very nice back seat. This is a 10 out of 10 when it comes to a sedan back seat, especially at this price point in this segment. 2 thumbs up. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, we're on the back of the Hyundai Ioniq 6, and we do have a nice big button right here, and it is a power-operated trunk. Once we are back here, nothing really too crazy to write home about. We do get that tire mobility kit, which is very nice to see, but nothing really crazy beyond that. I apologize, it is pretty windy. We can pull this up and we get our charging cable and things like that, but no spare tire in the Ioniq 6. We can lock the vehicle from here or just put the trunk back down, which it is power operated back down, of course. We also do have a frunk, which I have not looked at yet, so you're going to get my raw reaction as it is super windy. Again, I apologize. There you go. That's all the space that you get. All right. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and the looks of this car are somewhat controversial. I like it. I think it's unique and different without being overplayed. I think it's not ugly, but some people do think it's ugly. Some people say it looks like a fish. I don't say it looks like a fish. I'm saying other people say that. I like it. I think it's styled. I think it's cool. I think it's unique, although I will say the 2023 that I had was in a really nice red color, and I would probably prefer that over this gray. But that's just my own personal preference. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the Ioniq 6 Limited long range for the last 7 days? Well, honestly, I feel as though they should take the long range out of the name. Although it is a longer range than normal, it's still not that much. As I mentioned, the mileage it shows you available is actually really half of what you can do. Maybe a little bit more than half, but only marginally. That has been the biggest downside of this car. Now, I will say, again, it's been about 40 degrees when I had this car. And the first day I got it, it was 81 degrees, and I didn't see as much drain. But that is something you have to take into account if you live in a place with seasons. It's just going to happen. The rest of the car is good. I like it quite a bit. The best thing about the Ioniq 6 is that it is a car. It's just a car. And what I mean by that is that I'm going to say the T word. Buying a Tesla in 2025 is a statement. Whether you agree with that statement or disagree with that statement, owning, buying, and driving a Tesla in 2025 will make people think one way or another about you. It's just the truth of it. And if you don't feel that way, I'm sorry to say, but that is the public perception. You can buy a Hyundai Ioniq 6 and get the same experience you would get in a Tesla Model 3 or Model S, you get the electric car, you get something sleek, you get something modern, you're going to have that same experience without the connotation that comes with owning a Tesla product. This car, all things considered, is relatively simple. And if you buy one and park it in your driveway, your neighbors aren't going to immediately love you or immediately hate you. Nothing is going to change. It's going to be average. It's going to be normal. And maybe that is a downside for the Ioniq 6. Maybe the Ioniq 6, in order to sell more units, needs some controversy. Maybe it needs a Brangelina moment. But for now, I like that the Ioniq 6 is outside the limelight, that the focus isn't talking about the Ioniq 6, because it is a good car. And it's just that. It's a car. It's an appliance. It doesn't occupy a chunk of your brain. It isn't going to cause you heartache or stress, nor will it give you immense joy. It's somewhere in the middle. But cars don't have to be the crown jewel of your life. They can be something in the background. They can be parked in the garage and not thought about. That's what the Ioniq 6 is good at. It's good at just being there. It's an NPC car, but I mean that in a positive way. Its strength comes from normality, and I think we need more cars like it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Hyundai for letting me borrow this Ioniq 6 for the last 7 days. Huge thank you to Drive Shop for facilitating the cleaning and delivery of this vehicle. They actually left it at the airport for me, so when I came home from California, it was right there waiting, and I appreciate that. And of course, thank you to the Midwestern Automotive Media Association. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.